65%. And 67% they have devices to play. Gamers aging 18 up to 72, they're adults. However, the average gamer was found to be 35. Among adolescents, the proportion of players is even higher. Up to 97% of adolescents are playing video games. And the average age between 12 and 17 years of age. 53% of the most frequent video game players report playing video games with others. They are not playing alone. And this is when I bring back Fortnite. If you are a mom or a dad and you are unfamiliar, please learn that Fortnite, your kids are playing with strangers. Sometimes they are completely in a different country and maybe a different continent. And that's why your kids sometimes will play during school, during church, will be getting up in the early morning, or rather will not sleep at night because there is a different timeline and people are playing 2 and 3 a.m. During COVID time, there was a major complaint across the board of education that the kids are sleeping during the online lectures because all the kids were awake until 2 and 3 and 4 a.m. And then when at least I investigated this among Coptic kids, they were really, because they were playing video games, they were not really praising the Vespers or midnight praises. 11% of US households own a virtual reality headset. 74% have consoles. Now, I can tell you the industry is $11.7 billion. Meaning, if this money is placed into the poor countries, there will be no one who needs to eat or drink. There will be no poverty if we cancel video games. Now, VGA, video game addiction, is now, as I said, a disease with a diagnosis. And it's actually has its own code. When a psychiatrist meets a young man who says, I can't stop, I cannot, I'm dropping school, I dropped the last semester, I leave home and I don't eat and don't shower because of that. Okay. There are some emotional and physical effects of video games. And I want the moms, the dads, and the kids to listen and be honest with yourself if these are happening. Emotional symptoms: feeling restless, feeling irritable. You'll find the kid in school and wants to leave. You find a kid in dinner and he can't sit still and he wants to finish his meal because the other kids are playing and he is getting a notice: if you don't play now, we'll drop you. You are not part of our team anymore. You will find kids not sleeping well because they are playing. Preoccupation with online activity or anticipation of the next game. Kids are very restless because they are about to play the new game and they want to win. And winning is a lot of reward. And sometimes they spend money to win because they want to buy gadgets to help them win. Lying to friends and families about the number of hours they spent, or do they really cut school, or they were really actually doing what they're supposed to do, or they did the homework or not. They lie about all of this because during all of this time they need to play, and if they don't play they feel very bad because they miss out. Feeling isolated, feeling social phobia because they are sitting, playing, and they do not mingle with others elsewhere. Physical effects. The physical effects of video games addiction, I personally have investigated it among at least many of the youth and young kids that I work with and serve. One, gaining weight. Across the board during the COVID year, there is a 10 pounds average weight gain per person because almost a lot of people, 70 or some percent, were not working, were not going out, and of course it's easier to keep eating. However, video games is the number one reason for gaining weight among adolescents. The reason is, number one, they are sitting and eating junk food all the time. Number two, they are not moving whatsoever. Number three, they abandon all types of sports. So number one, weight gain. Number two, back pain. They are hunched down, they are holding the iPad, and they are very stressed. Number three, wrist or pain or in the thumb or arthritis in the wrist. The reason is the hand and the thumb is working too fast and too strangely in directions that God did not intend for the thumb to be created to do. And all of a sudden, those kids come with severe wrist pain or severe thumb pain in the joint. 4, needing eyeglasses or needing new glasses or worsening prescription for their eyes. The reason is they are really looking at the screen too long. 5, migraine, headaches, waking up with headaches and migraine. 14, 15-year-olds should never get these symptoms that they are getting. 6, lazy eye syndrome. And you call it a disease, was reported during the COVID year among clinicians, where teenagers have difficulty seeing, blurring of vision, feeling that they need to sleep but because they can't sleep right. One of the bad physical symptoms I want to say as well is lack of hygiene. He's sitting too long, he's sweating, he doesn't go to shower, he doesn't respond to mom or dad asking him to bathe or to shower or to wash your teeth or do the normal things. So physically, he's actually have poor hygiene. Now, one of the psychological effects was studied by the Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and they looked at depression, social phobia, low self-esteem. And I want to read to you a 2-year longitudinal study performed in 3,034 children in grades 3, 4, 7, 8, and 12. The average amount of time was 20.5 hours per week. I already know that some of the moms, especially like the mom who sent the question earlier, my kid is playing already 4 hours a day, which means higher than the average number reported in this study. The number of symptoms reported was correlated with the amount of playing at each week. So the person who have higher symptoms usually have higher number of hours. They studied them for 2 long years, and they found depression, social phobia, and anxiety are much higher among those who are playing longer and daily than those who are playing infrequently or less. So if you find your kid always depressed, afraid of the others, I think you may already know the answer. You cannot let this happen to our beautiful kids who are given to us as steward as we are the stewards from God. Interestingly though, for some of the heavy gamers who stopped playing, their depression was stopped. So it's not life lasting. Another research was done on 722 gamers, and this is, I believe, was done by Yale University. Their ages ranges between 16 and 18. The study showed a positive relationship between depression and online gaming. Those who are playing longer and more have higher incidence of depression. They also found suicide ideation and anxiety, loss of self-esteem, and loss of relationships. I personally know of a young man who was dating a very good girl, and they were destined to get married. And unfortunately, after a while, he couldn't make the dates. He's always irritable. He's restless with her. And he is not a young kid. He's 28. And he lost an amazing lady. Could have been an amazing wife because of broken relationships thanks to these things. I read a very nice article in New York Post published 3 years ago. They call it the digital heroin. The digital heroin, turning our kids into psychotic junkies. So, as far as another study by Iowa University, a professor of psychology, his name is Dr. Gentile, did a study about depression and correlation with video gaming. He found that those who go into gaming may in turn increase their depression and isolation. And he suggested that parents ought to regulate their children's use of video games and trust their instincts when they feel it's too long. I want to also bring, which I may have brought it once before, Steve Jobs, the one who created the Mac, the iPad, the iPhone. He was interviewed by New York Times, and he mentioned, the article said, Steve Jobs was a low-tech parent because he doesn't allow many hours on any of these at home. All right, I spent enough time telling you about the negative stuff. Now let me get to how to break your child's video games addiction. I want to say something you should not do. The worst thing that you should do is you hear me and you go and snatch the phone and say you're not playing anymore. Believe me, that's the worst thing. You need to be smart in how to deal with your addict, your child who unfortunately became addicted. You cannot take it from him. You need to make sure he understands you know how he feels. And playing Fortnite is amazing. And you are such an amazing player. And you must be very proud of yourself. And you have to say that. But do you think your performance in school is lower because video gaming? Do you think your muscles could be stronger and bigger as a boy? Maybe your weight got a little heavier and you as a young lady will look prettier if you lose weight. This is the approach I want parents to enter into. Not the tyrant approach of snatching the phone and saying no. As a matter of fact, I don't want you to stop the habit. I want you to decrease the habit. I want the kid to play, but reasonably and in less amount, and know when the game can never be played. So the first step the parent should do is really talk to your kid in a reasonable, in a rational, explain that you actually have his or her own interest at heart and you are fully aware of how interesting these games are and how amazing playing could be. I think also you could say, I know that you love gaming, but we need to put things into perspective. How can I help you, my child, to control your habit, to play reasonably without hurting your future, whether the brain or your future. So for those who sent a couple of questions about does this apply to TV watching, really TV watching is different because it's not interactive. So to tell you the truth, if you are telling me your kid has interest in watching a certain program in TV or a certain movie, as long as you choose right for him or her, I can't say it's the same. Another question, I stopped my son from playing totally during school. Am I supposed to still give him time? Again, if your son or daughter responded well and did well and he actually is okay and doing well without it, good for you. I'm not going to tell you there is a benefit or a great benefit in playing. But what did you replace the game with? As a smart mom, you should be planning ahead of time. What are you going to tell your child after you tell him, I want to help you. I'm in your team. I want it to be good. And I appreciate Fortnite. It's very interesting. What are you going to offer instead of, in replacement of? So one of the things that you have to have, it has to have the same excitement. You can't tell him, I want you to stop and I want you to read a book. Yeah, with all respect, if I am a 16-year-old kid, really? You want me to replace Fortnite with reading a book, Mom? I mean, unless the book is so exciting, something like really get me thrilled over it, and it's, of course, good for me, then of course. But parents should think intelligently how to replace video games with something as exciting. How about, and I'm going to give examples, why don't your kid learn, if he doesn't know how to swim, make him learn swimming. Make him start tennis ball and go with him and pay for a trainer and let the trainer teach him tennis. Go and make him be trained as a basketball player, not just a kid who plays basketball in the church backyard, but actually get him to be in part of a team. And any type. It could be lacrosse, it could be race running, it could be horseback riding. But do something interesting. And do something interesting to him. I saw some father one time trying to convince his kid to stop video gaming and play chess with him. Maybe you are the most, interactive player and chess could be amazing. I wish, because I love chess, but if your kid can't take chess, how can you replace something 3D with a lot of guns and a lot of action with something very soft and very slow pace and take time to move the night and but tennis, basketball, horseback riding, swimming, water rafting, whitewater rafting, I don't know, but painting a room, um, learning a new language, but actually interesting, not just, and then promise him, I'll take you to Paris. I'm going to take you, for example, to Frankfurt after you take 3 months of German. I'm going to take you to Bolivia to serve with Bishop Yusuf if you learn Spanish. I want something exciting for me, Dad. If you want to replace my Fortnite addiction, you have to give me something in return that's as exciting. Um, if you have to pull them away from video games, you have to give them a healthy dopamine functioning brain. Dopamine is good for the brain, but the very high level of excitement all the time, that's not good. But the dopamine flourishes our brain and makes our brain um, grow. Um, I think one of the ways to have a talk, that's my opinion. Don't just jump on the kid and snatch the phone. As I said, do a talk, and I'm going to make a talk now. You are the kid, I am dad. I'm talking now to your kid. Habibi, I understand you are playing Fortnite very well. And I heard that you are one of the best players. And from the way you're talking to me, it's a very interesting game. One time I sat next to you, I couldn't cope with the way you play. You are so good at it. I'm very proud of you. This is good. You must be so happy, right? Oh yeah, Dad. You don't know how happy I am. I'm one of the best player in the whole church. The whole church plays. I wonder if even some of the servants are playing. Oh, I don't think so, Habibi. But even anyway, I want to ask you something, if you don't mind. Do you mind if we talk frankly about it? Now, consider me, I'm really in your team. I'm not coming here to tell you not to play. Oh, really, Dad? Are you going to let me play? Sure, I want you to play, but I want to ask you some questions. Do you think your grades lately, Habibi, are acceptable to you? You were always A plus, and the worst you got was B plus. That's the worst. Lately, I'm noticing you're getting to the C a lot, and some of the teachers actually send me letters stating what happened to your son. He wasn't like that. Are you guys fighting at home or something? And I couldn't tell your teacher, but do you think it may be related to video games? Yeah, Dad, kind of. Since I've been playing 3, 4 hours a day, and you probably don't know, but I want to confess to you, I stay late a lot. Yes, Habibi, I noticed that. And I noticed that in your room, you are using the, the, the iPad until very late. And that's why in the morning you are very sleepy. Yeah, Dad, I think that's really affecting my grades a lot, and I'm not happy about it. There's something else, Habibi. I'm not sure if I'm right, but do you think you are maybe gaining more weight than you like during this age? Yeah, my tummy is like 10 pounds more. I'm like you then. Now I have a coach. Oh, no, you'll never be like me. But I wish you never be like me. But is that good for you, Habibi, or you are proud of that? No, I'm not proud at all of that. So what are we going to do about it? I know. I feel like I'm an addict, Dad. I can't stop playing. I really tried. I'm telling you, honest to God, I really tried. I mean, I thought that I can stop playing once school started, but I haven't been able to. Once they send me a link and they tell me we are going to play with or without you, I can't hold myself, and you know what? I know what to do. So, do you need my help, my son? Because I'm in your team. I just want you to be happy. If you want to stay in Fortnite all your life, it's your call. But I think you agree with me. your grades are bad, you could lose weight. And I think I see some of the kids are growing a lot of muscles. Don't you want to build muscles? Oh, yeah. You know, this kid in our school, he's like, looks like a chimpanzee. I wish I can be half of him. So, do you allow me to suggest few things? Yes, please. I mean, I'm really need help. I'm not happy with the way I am. I just don't know how to stop. Okay. So how about we do something called digital detox? What? What do you mean that digital detox? I heard about alcohol detox. I heard about heroin detox. I heard about cocaine detox. Digital detox? Yeah. I mean, digital detox means that you are really um, able to reduce the amount of time you are on digital media. Oh, so how do I do that? Number one, you set limits. Now I'm talking to all the parents, I'm talking to all the kids. What I'm talking about is called digital detox. Um, so a question came about my kids are playing Fortnite, but they are still playing Minecraft and similar games. When I limit them, they say it's not a bad game. Um, of course, many people are asking how I stop my kids. I'm going to answer that. So I'm coming back to Minecraft, but to tell you the truth, it doesn't matter the name of the game as much as the length and the repetition and the inability to stop. So coming back to digital detox, number one, you want to tell your child about, and you help him with that, in the way I was talking, is you set limits and you set boundaries. I like actually when I tell my kid, put an alarm with a snoozing for 10 minutes. So if you want to play 1 hour, which in my opinion isn't okay, acceptable time, playing 1 hour, and give him 10 minutes to finish a game. Then it's not 1 hour and you snatch the phone. 10 minutes, the alarm goes off. 10, 10, 10. Okay. But he's in the middle of the game. It's very hard to stop. Even you, if you, dad, is playing and I tell you, stop, you just give me, I'm about to. Okay, fine. You have 10 minutes and that's it. So he has a grace period of 10 minutes after the 1 hour. He may take it or may not. After 10 minutes, there has to be something you agree with your son, which I'm going to say, and I hope the kids will continue to love me because it's only my interest to you kids. The internet has to be stopped. There is no need for a router to be on after you both agreed on a time. I am not telling the parents to go and put off the router without giving many warnings first. I hope you take the example of me talking to your daughter or your son the way I explained 10 minutes before. Once you reach an understanding that she or he needs help, you tell them, okay, we'll agree on setting boundaries, which is called digital detox. With digital detox, I'll put its limits and I'll put the alarm. When I put the alarm, I'll give you a grace period. Once the grace period is done, even if you beg me, I will stop internet, or you yourself be a good boy or a good girl and put off the game. Number three, so be realistic, set limits and set boundaries. The research suggests by limiting the social media to 30 minutes per day, you can improve well-being and decrease symptoms of depression and loneliness. And this applies to my age and the parents as well. Can you come to, at the end of the day, even us parents, no, nothing with a screen. Not even read the Akbay from here. Don't even read the Bible from here because you may get a text message while reading the Bible. Just throw it away, put it in airplane mode if you have to use the Bible from here, and read the Bible but on airplane mode. They claim, and please tell your son that, the research have shown when you are 1 hour off screen, all types of screens, you go paint, you go puzzle, you go playing, you go gym, you go painting the room, you go anything. Number 2 or 3, be realistic. By many detox is better than no detox. Like there are moms will say, I'm going to stop it completely. Believe me, you are not going to succeed because either your son will deceive you and he's doing it in school, or you will not know because maybe at night he wakes up. So rather than doing a sharp, immediate cut turkey like this, cold turkey, rather do a mini detox and move with it. And as I said, I don't mind leaving the game for a little time per day, and you expand it during the weekend or during the summer to 2 hours, 3 hours in the weekend. And I prefer not to be continuous. So on Saturday you have 3 hours. Your choice, but I don't want them to be together. You can do 2 and 1, 2 in the morning, 1 in the evening, 1 in the morning, 2 in the evening, but not 3 together. And you explain the eye, the back, the head, the obesity. So digital detox does not really involve separation from your phone. Okay. I hope with what I'm saying, I am giving you an idea of how to deal, not how to be a general in the army and you are talking to your troops down. I want you to talk to your daughter or son with understanding. You know what they go through. You know it's difficult to stop. Some of you, I respect very much, may actually be smoking and it's very difficult to stop. So why, when it comes to your child, you want to tell them to stop? One of the things I also want to bring is granny. I recently was called by one of the moms in one of the churches in Northeast America that her child is using granny. So I didn't know anything about it. Granny is one of the most mediocre games. It doesn't have 3D. It's very bad colors, not well designed at all. However, very scary. A lot of ghosts and and I can tell you it's completely inadvisable for anyone to let his kids use granny. The reason is it makes our kids be scared, they get nightmares, and there is a lot of academies for pediatrics are recommending against using it. So please be careful. Granny is apparently very dangerous. I thought I just saw a message and I lost it, so I'm trying to get it again. So I don't know what it is. All right. So, yeah. My kids are not playing Fortnite, but they are still playing Minecraft and similar games. So I kind of answered this question. Minecraft is definitely better than Fortnite. It does not have the aggressiveness and the blood and the killing and the violence, but it's still, you play with strangers, you will be anxious, you will be stressed, but more importantly, how many hours? Again, if you tell me your son is playing 1 hour a day, personally, as a parent, as an educator, I think it's okay. But if you tell me he's playing 3 and 4 hours, if you tell me any day playing for 3 or 4 hours, no. So when I spoke about digital detox, be realistic, it may not happen immediately. Number 2, set limits. How much hours? How many hours? Set boundaries and put an alarm. Number 4, find replacement that it is as interesting and um, exciting. And I think I gave many examples about how to be excitable and how to give people to play with fun without feeling bored and all of this. For example, I want to say this story because it happened in our area. We do a summer camp in our church during the summer. I can tell you my kids, we have about 100, 120 every single day attending summer camp. They did not suffer this summer at all from the Fortnite or the Minecraft or Roblox or any of these because they are playing from 4 until 10 p.m. They go very tired, they sleep because they have been playing basketball and volleyball and whatever ball. I wish use, especially the summer, especially this summer because last summer we did not enjoy very much and our kids lost a lot of their muscles. Get them to the gym, go with them to the gym, get them a trainer, go swimming classes, go to tennis classes, whatever type of classes, but be creative. Don't do once and then don't do anything for a while. Roblox is as bad, but maybe not. Maybe Fortnite is the most played. Roblox is better game, but again, it's an addictive game. Don't get me wrong. All of these are addictive games. And if you find the same symptoms which I said in the beginning, isolated from family and friends because he wants to play Roblox, 2, they are playing in secret. Number 3, they are losing time from church or school or friends. 4, they are losing hygiene. 5, they lie and deceive you and they tell you they don't play. Physical problems, complaining of headache or eye problems every day, of any of that. I don't mind any game. They are all wrong. They will be all bad because really by doing this, it really causes the same addiction. Because regardless of the type of the game, the outcome is the same. So I want to summarize what I said and finalize. Our kids are having fun by playing games. And we cannot just stop the fun without making sure we have a remedy. This fun, unfortunately, is not totally good and clean fun. Not because it's sexual. It's actually not sexual. It's just aggressive, violent, gives them depression, gives them anxiety, gives them low self-esteem. And many of our kids who want to talk to us, they bury themselves in the game to avoid talking about issues they have in their schools. They're being bullied, they are being harassed, somebody is making fun of them, they are not doing good in school because they would rather be playing with the games. So I hope I give you an idea how to respond to the video games and how to answer your kid and how to help them become a better person, enjoying their time better and knowing how to do it. Finally, I want to say that I brought before that there is an agreement that you and your daughter or your son must sign, and I will ask my co-servants in CYC to post that agreement for families to modify it up to the way the family wants it, and you use it in the way you want it. If you want it to be used as is, you can use it. If you want to use it in a different way, you can use it. But the idea of the agreement that your son or daughter will sign an agreement stating how long they are using their electronics and for what reasons they are using the electronics. And you can sort of bargain with them until you find a suitable agreement that both parties agree upon. I hope this was useful. I would welcome your questions even after the session is done. And I'm praying and hoping we all grow uh, to make our kids true sons and daughters of Christ. To see you again next Saturday at 10 p.m. when we turn our hearts to our family in Family Matters. God bless.